Homelander has what amounts to godlike superpowers, so why has he never once tried to take over the world? In The Boys, he is about as close to a deity as it gets. Those laser eyes that can slice through anything. Skin that laughs off bullets and bombs in the entire universe of the show. Only Soldier Boy even comes close to being a real threat to him. Yet, for all that power, world domination has never really been on his agenda. What has held him back? Think back to the Flight 37 hijacking. Homelander and Maeve show up to save the plane, and he accidentally slices the cockpit controls with his heat vision. Superman would have just caught the plane. Homelander not only can't do that, but his immediate concern isn't the passengers. It is how the survivors are going to talk about him on the news if he can't save everyone perfectly. The moment he realizes he can't pull off a clean rescue, he just leaves, flies away without a word while a cabin full of people screams. What does that tell us? It tells us Homelander doesn't give a damn about human lives. All he cares about is his approval rating and his follower count. Actually, ruling the world would mean dealing with an endless stream of messy, imperfect situations, just like that one. For a narcissist, this self-absorbed and this obsessed with his own image, that sounds less like power and more like hell. Then there is his deeply unsettling mommy issues. He is the most powerful being on the planet, and yet around Madeline Stillwell, he shrinks into a little boy who did something wrong, desperate for a hug, craving some twisted version of maternal love. He eventually kills her with his own hands, and then turns around and asks a shapeshifter to become her just so he can feel okay again. That says everything. Homelander never really grew up on the inside. He is a man, child who can't even process his own emotions or work through his childhood trauma, let alone have the vision and discipline it takes to run the world. Ruling the world is exhausting. What he actually wants is for every person on Earth to treat him the way a mother treats her child, to soothe him, validate him, and never stop telling him he is special. And then there is the one person who can genuinely put him in his place, former Vought CEO Edgar, aka Stan Edgar, the Colonel himself. The scene that really shows who Edgar is comes when Homelander rolls up to that meeting with bad intentions written all over his face. Edgar looks him dead in the eye and says exactly the things he knows will send Homelander into a rage.
And you are not our most valuable asset. That would be our confidential formula for compound V, which you, man-child that you are, released into the wild.
Anyone else would be dead before they finished the sentence. But Homelander backs down. You can actually see the fear flash across his face. That is because Edgar holds every card that matters. Every bit of Homelander's superiority complex is built on the pedestal Vought constructed for him. Take away the PR team, take away the worshipping fans, and Homelander feels like nothing. He is terrified of losing his throne. That dependency on his own image is like a thin leash on a vicious dog. The leash shouldn't be able to hold, but the dog doesn't dare pull. By seasons 3 and 4, something shifts in a genuinely dangerous direction. At a rally, he shoots a protester's head clean off in front of a crowd. First time he has ever killed someone in public. The whole place goes dead silent. Fortunately, one sharp guy in the crowd starts cheering, which flips Homelander's mood entirely. If that hadn't happened, it would have been a massacre. And that is when something clicks for Homelander. He doesn't have to pretend to be a hero anymore. The more unhinged he acts,